Welcome to episode 87 of Keeping It Real. I'm your host, Kadis, and today is a much better day than yesterday. I feel bliss. I feel chill. I feel excited. After this episode, I was invited to go play pool at a pool hall with a friend that I haven't seen since high school. And you know me, I'm just thinking maybe there's going to be girls there. So with that, let's get into this. Let me tell you about what I was just doing. So when I started this podcast, I used to clip it. And if you know anything about clipping podcasts, then you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, put it this way. So basically what I'm doing here online is I'm just like relentlessly putting myself out there again and again and again and again. No matter what it looks like, I just continue to put myself out there. And a great way to do that, there's this, so I do a lot of this, which is an hour every day where I just say whatever it is that I say, and I say it loud, I say it proud, I say it sad, I say it mad. And this doesn't get that many eyes. And you might be thinking, well, like, is it really about how many people look at it? And it's like, no, it's not about how many people look at it. It's not about the views, but it is about, there might be someone out there that might actually enjoy this, that might listen to it or like watch it or like make it a part of their life and like learn from it, even if just for a week, just for a month, just for a couple hours, And I feel like it's my responsibility to find that person sometimes. Like, it's not really like so far, there has been lots of people coming and going, and I see what you guys write and I see what you say. But you've all, for the most part, kind of stumbled across me, unless you're my mom, unless you're, a coworker, unless you're a friend or someone that I've met. It's like you probably just like were really bored on the internet and then you found me, and that's cool. And that is, I think, something that I can leverage, right? Through these companies. There's multiple of them, but I tried out two different ones today. I used to use one called Munch. Not a big fan of that one. Well, not that I'm not a big fan of that one, but simply put, I don't use it anymore. And now that the time has come where I'm thinking like, let me see if I can get back into this. I said, let's see what else is out there. So I just basically searched up AI clipping. And of course, all these ads come and everyone wants my business because it costs money to process these things and to make these clips. And one of them is Opus. And if you don't know what I'm talking about yet, what I'm talking about is taking these hour-long episodes every day and translating them into about 20 or so short-form vertical clips, where the most high-energy parts, were the ones where I'm most happy, most stretched. Those 20-second segments, about 20 of them throughout each episode, are clipped. Its subtitles get thrown on, the audio gets enhanced, and my silences get cut out for viewer retention solely. And because this is very real, the name of this is Keeping It Real, right? It's kind of like a movie trailer. Like if you make a movie, the movie is like the art piece, and the true enthusiasts will enjoy the movie for what it is, and they will go and they will see that movie. But on the other hand, you have sort of the obligation to show the world what your movie is like. And when you only get 20 or so seconds to do that, you make what's called a movie trailer. Now, a movie trailer isn't just a 20-second segment from a movie. If it was, then it probably wouldn't do as well. What it is a short sequence of edited, action-packed moments where certain tools are used, like heightened music and dropped and silences are utilized to engage the person as much as possible in that 20-second span. Because 20 seconds is a lot of time, and if that's the time that you're allotted to grab attention, then you better use every trick you have in the book. And that's a lot of work to create, to go through and comb through and find 20-second segments throughout my episodes that are, entertaining and sort of edit these things myself. What's more realistic is these softwares that do it for me. Now, I don't have the money for it. I don't have the money. I'm getting a call. Hello? Hello? Who's this? No, this is not Marlon. Stop. Listen to me. This is not Marlon. I do not own that house. Whoever had my phone number last owned a house. And I don't have a house to sell. That guy was calling me from Florida. From Florida, he was calling me. So yeah, that kind of thing gets me excited, right? I get excited about that. But, I guess, it is what it is, I guess. It is what it is. What are you going to do? Yeah, now I'm bored with nothing to say. What's going to be really good for me is after this episode of hopping on my bike and biking down to the pool hall. That's going to be really good for me. I need that in my life. Woke up late today, went to bed late last night, and I have work tomorrow. Still haven't continued on with my substitute teacher certification. I really need to continue on with that. I also have to pay for and take that 1-day class that's going to get my court case got pushed back, I think. And it's coming up now in the next 2 weeks, under 2 weeks. And before it happens, I'm going to need to give my lawyer the certificate that I passed the class so that he can do what he needs to do. So I need to sign up for that too. Also, this place needs to be cleaned. And yeah. First things first, at least the Instagram reel is, at least my Instagram reel is done. At the very least. So yeah, actually right now in this moment I'm feeling anxious. I thought I'd turn the camera on and I'd feel good, but I just feel anxious. I don't know what to say, what to do. I have a lot to do, and it's starting to get dark, and I don't know. I need to start getting up when the sun gets up because I just feel I hate this. I wake up and I have 3 hours and the sun drops, and then once the sun drops, it's well, everyone's asleep. Might as well just do whatever the hell I want, and that's just bad. It's bad. Bad practice. Bad this. Bad that. My roommate just now told me, I don't know how you talk to a camera by yourself for an hour every day. And I don't really even know how I do it either. Sometimes it just really sucks. Right now, I don't really feel like doing this. But it's just I don't know, discipline? I feel weird even using that word because that's something I've never had in my life. I've never saw myself as someone with discipline. I've always wanted discipline, and it's always been out of reach. But that's, I guess, what I have right now is discipline. And it's weird being on this side of it, having it after chasing it for so long. It's now I have discipline. And for one thing's for sure, I'm never going to let it go. I'm not going to let discipline go. I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know if it's always going to be this 1 hour episode, but I'm never going to go backwards discipline wise. I need this. Without this little piece of structure, without this little piece of me that I do, I don't know. I need this. I need it bad. And I'm glad that I have it. So what could we do today? What could we talk about? What could happen? I don't know. A whole lot of things. I wonder if part of the reason I might be frustrated as of late is a little bit of sexual, I wonder if that might be possible. I'm extremely hesitant to blame it on that entirely because we all know that's not true. Maybe if I ate better and slept better, there's lots of factors, and maybe a small little factor is, it'd be nice to bust a damn nut. But I don't. The first of the month is coming up, and as I've said on previous episodes, I'm thinking about giving something else up, being realistic and giving something else up. And I wonder what that something could be. I have lots of thoughts. I think a good thing that it could be would be like, I don't know, it's a toss-up. There's two things, which is great because I feel like last time it was three things. And those three, like having three things is a harder choice than two. And now it's just really two. And those two things are these two things. Well, technically it's still three because you could put sleep schedule into it. But I feel like once I fix these two things, the sleep part is going to, like I want to address the most important first. So here are the two most important ones. The way that I eat and the way that I engage with technology. Social media. So it's always so clear now in retrospect, these 3, 4 technically things that I've given up. I had weed, gave up weed. Well, let's start at the very beginning. I used to be on nicotine, Juuls, cigarettes, cigarillos, Zyn, whatever I had. I just wanted a buzz. And then as a 16-year-old, I curbed that habit. Very proud of myself for that still. And then half a year later, I picked up a vape on a coffee table because I wasn't feeling too good that day. And I just felt like shit. And I was just like, I want to hit this fucking vape. And I hit it, and it was dead or something. And it burned my mouth. And it ruined the buzz. You know what I mean? And after that, I never touched nicotine ever again. I think actually I might have smoked blunts before. I mean, I might have smoked blunts after that. But I was very conscious of it. I don't want to be smoking nicotine. I'd stay away from it if possible. And then I stopped smoking weed. And when I stopped smoking weed, I remember I think back on it now, and I'm like, it was so easy. It was there's weed in my life, just cut all the weed out, done. Objective complete. And then a year passed, and I stopped drinking. And that, I'm not going to lie, that went through, I tried to stop drinking, and, then I couldn't do it. And then I tried again, couldn't do it, tried again, couldn't do it. And then I was I've had enough, and I tried again, and it stuck. And so far, I still haven't drank it all. And I live with 2 liquor bottles in my room, and, I'm never going to drink them. You know what I mean? It's cool that they're there. I really like it. I feel it makes me feel like an adult, and that's something that it's important for me to make myself feel like, because I am. And then I think I gave up caffeine because there was a point in time where I was chugging energy drinks. I don't really do kratom anymore. I mean, but the only hard rules, the only 2 hard rules where it's been hard. Well, not hard as in it's been hard to do. I mean, yes, it was hard to do, but hard as in I really bent my mind. I really put a lot of effort into repeating the thought over and over again. I will never do this 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 again. Has been weed, for one. I will never do weed again. And masturbating, 2. I will never masturbate again. Both of those things, I wrote the date down of when I last did them. And when I write the date down, it's serious. I've written dates down and failed before. But these 2 dates are kept, and it's part of the whole discipline thing. Whenever I'm having a bad day, if I need to, I can lean on those 2 facts. I haven't done this, and I haven't done that, and I won't do it. I remember in yesterday's episode, I said, I was in such a bad mood, I was I don't even want to do this podcast anymore. This is the last episode, I won't do it again. That's dangerous to even say. It's dangerous to even speak those words. Because you can make them true through speaking them. You can make them true. And then do you know how shitty it would be? You'd get over it. You'd be fine. You'd create something else. You'd go, do this, do that. But if you gave this up, do you know how much you regret it? I mean, no regrets. You wouldn't regret it because it would lead to something else. But that's not, the path forward is no longer beating yourself down. When I was 13 and I got high for the first time, I was I know that this is a bad thing for me to do, but let me beat myself down so that I have a staircase to climb up. And like that is like, you should never do that intentionally. I think a lot of guys are doing this right now to themselves. They're like, let's see how far down to rock bottom I can get so that my comeback story, my life story, my everything is just that much more awesome. You know, that's not like, you should never do that ever. You should never do that. You should just find what it takes for you to become awesome now. Like, stop. Like, you don't have to put yourself down just to come back up. Yeah, so maybe it's not my time. Maybe it's not the time to write another date down. You know? I quit weed a year and a half ago now. And I quit jacking off in January. So that was like just over a year and 2 months. A year and 2.5 months. A year and 2.5 months after I reshaped my brain to quit weed, I decided it's time to do it again. It's time to go to again. Let's write down a date. I lost nights of sleep because I couldn't get that dopamine I used to get from beating my meat. You know, I dealt with crazy fucking boners that just like all I wanted to do was jack off. I just let life happen, and the only constant was like, I'm not going to touch myself. I'm not going to watch porn. And you know, I still see girls in bikinis on social media, and I hesitate a bit on them sometimes. And like, they shake their ass and it's everywhere. I still get that stuff. All guys do. So I feel like the time is. I feel like this is what I'm thinking. Like, how do I know it's the right time? Like, it was a year and change gap between the two times where I gave these things up, and now it's on my mind again, obviously, and I'm thinking I should give something else up. But how do I know? I don't know. I guess, how do I know it will succeed? I guess I don't. On the 1st of this month, April 1st, I should just give up. I mean, I could flip a coin, you know, because both things are going to have big challenges. Changing how I eat is going to be really hard because I'm going to have to change my structure of my day to include going to the grocery store. I'm going to have to start spending 20 minutes baking chicken. You know, like cooking rice, making beans. Like, that's like time that I'm going to have to commit. Like, this is going to be different than anything I've ever done before. Like, I remember I used to commit. I mean, I guess in the past I've committed time to like structuring my thoughts to, I will never do this activity again. But it never took like, I quit weed, you know, I never like, it never was like it was never like I started working out. I quit jacking off. It was never like I started reading books. Like, I feel like starting is harder, right? Because quitting is just giving something up. And like, that's easy because you can kind of just sit idle while the date where you did it last drifts further and further in the past. But doing something, there's no room for idle. Like, every day since the start, you have to continue to do. You can't stop to do. And I think starting to do something is a lot more scary. I never wrote any note down for this, for my first time I filmed myself. You know, I never did that. But, you know, here I am coming up on 1 year. Like, it's crazy that I'm coming up on 1 year of doing this. It's changed so much, and it's going to keep on changing, I feel like. Be different, you know? Be different. be different. Be different. I mean, I just got this great idea. How about I combine the drone clips with the podcast stuff? Like add in drone shots to podcast clips. Like that's something different, you know? You know what I mean? It's different. It's different. I'm feeling like high strung right now. Like, fuck, I gotta make something happen and do something. That's why I think it's really good that I'm about to hop on my bicycle and go to the pool hall. I think it might, honestly, this episode might have turned out a lot better if I hopped on my bike and rode around before I sat down for it. You know? My bike is great. I feel that burn in my quads, the harsh wind down the back of my throat, and like just the straightening of my back and like my hand on the handles just it vibrates my arms. Like, I need that, dude. I need it. Like, I gotta start, like there's so much I gotta be doing for myself. There's so much I could be doing to become better. So much. So much. Like, for the first 4 hours that I was awake today, I was like, I'm bored. Yo, I'm bored. I wonder if my tire is just blown off the bead or if it actually has a hole in it. Yeah, I'm curious about that. I think this is a bad episode. I'm not saying much. I'm not like locked in. You know what I mean? I'm not locked in. Okay, this is something I notice right now in this moment. Is I make an episode and I post it. And then tomorrow comes and I ride that wave of like, okay, I finished posting yesterday's episode. I ride that wave. And then it's all like, the wave's all great and good until it's time for the next episode. And when it's time for the next episode, it's like I lose that. I lose that happiness from the last time. You know, like that fulfilled, content feeling from like looking backwards and saying, well, I did that over there. But now it's time to do this again. And I'm just like back to being stressed. I'm like, well, time to do this again. And I feel like I should, like, it's so weird how 2 days ago, like, it's so weird how yesterday's episode transpired, because the episode 2 days ago was early in the morning and I did it before work. And I remember back when I used to get high, right? I remember thinking about how I would get high and the nature at which it happened. And there'd be some days where I would get high super early in the day, whether it was with a pen, with weed, for whatever circumstance, during COVID, whatever. It would be like 8 a.m. and I'd be stoned. And I remember like that would throw off my whole mojo when it came to getting stoned. Like that would fuck up, like when I would get high in the morning, it would fuck up my whole like routine, like my whole like way of doing it. You know what I mean? Like my whole way of chilling. And then I would try with weed. Like weed was addictive. Like I have to force myself to do this. So on that end of it, I would end up doing it again in the morning the next day. Dang, bro, you should have told me you were going to Chick-fil-A. What? My man, you should have told me. I owe him like $30 for pizza and food. I owe my coworker $100. One day I was so tired and done that I called all my coworkers and tried to get someone to come take my shift. And I started offering money because no one was saying yes. And I got one of my coworkers to come take my shift for $100 that I still haven't paid her. Because I didn't have it at the time. But now I have it. But I have other things I have to pay. Like, I should be paying for my rent and stuff. But not that. My days are numbered, though. My months are numbered. My months of free rent are coming to an end here. I just took off the Samuel Babbitt sticker. Now it's on my phone. What am I supposed to do for the rest of this time? Hasn't even been 30 minutes yet. Hasn't even been 30 minutes of Yap Town, and I'm just, what am I supposed to do? Like, this is like the performance. You know, this is the thing. This is the it. What am I supposed to do? I have no idea. Am I supposed to say hello? Am I supposed to say goodbye? Am I supposed to say what's up? Am I supposed to say what's not up? I don't know. Am I supposed to have better posture? Am I supposed to put the mic closer, further away? I don't know. I feel like I get like that gross feeling, I guess, when I'm stressed out and I want to run away. And like discipline, I think, is just like, no, like you don't get to, there's no stopping for you. Like, this is what you have to do. You can put it off. You can try not to think about it. But discipline is, you can't go to bed until it's done. And that's it's kind of weird that that's the way it's worked out for me. But like, I'm glad that it's just worked out because there's so many variables in discipline, I think, that people try to do the most out the gate and they just end up, they like their whole life, they're never really able to get a grip on discipline. And those are the people that you see underneath bridges and such. Now, this is setting me up to be a bit different than most. Others are finding discipline through their studies. And then later along, they'll find a partner, which will introduce even more responsibility and discipline. And they'll have children. I mean, that's what my parents went through. And they are extremely disciplined. Guys, let me tell you, my parents are as disciplined as it gets. My mom walks long walks every morning. They both get up early in the morning. My dad is up at like 4 or 5 a.m. most mornings. And he works all day. You know what I'm saying? My mom keeps the house clean all day. My mom, they are disciplined. You know, they are always driving to whatever kid needs. They're always responding to emails, signing up for things, sending and receiving letters, tending to adult life. They have found their discipline groove. And they're pretty similar to a lot of others. I think about the neighborhood that they live in and I grew up in, and I think about all the families in that neighborhood, and I'd say most of the parents are like it's funny because they probably think they're quite different, but when I look back on it and I look at my current trajectory, I think that they're not. Like, everyone, having a kid just requires a lot of discipline and responsibility, and at the very least, all parents have that in common. In the place where I grew up, and it's the same sort of routine every day. The drives are about the same distance. The food is the same quality from the same grocery stores and requires the same amount of prep. And what's normal is, varies a bit from kitchen to kitchen and living room to living room. But at the end of the day, it's all families living in Eastover or Myers Park of Charlotte, North Carolina. And it's they all had kind of roughly the same, how they ended up there. They probably were pretty lucky to have two parents that were somewhat similar when they were younger, and they probably have degrees and work good jobs. It's not, you know what I mean? And maybe I'm naive for saying that I think I'm headed for something different, but I won't lie when I say I'm excited that it seems like I've sort of broken out of and this might be just crazy what I'm saying, and this might not make any sense. And if you know me and you are my parent or you are something and you know where I'm from, you might be like, you don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea what you're talking about. And I might not, because I realized yesterday at work, if anything, that like I am seriously super egocentric and need control. And like I really got to start finding ways to let go of that, because it's not like I'm not in control. Like I am not Michael of Jersey Mike's. I am just some employee at one store. There's thousands of stores all over the country. And it's like, I need to get humbled. Like on YouTube, it's like I barely get any views and people don't watch this stuff. Like I'm not important. But I don't know. I feel like I'm sinking my teeth in and finding that discipline and that important growth through the medium of sharing myself and expressing myself. And I feel comfortable in that. I feel calm in that. And I feel like safe in that string of words that I just said. Like, what do? Like, I put myself out there for others to see. Like, I'm very in tune with the narrative that I'm forming around it, right? Like my mom calls and she's like, you shouldn't put this on the internet. It's like very revealing. You might want to take it off someday. What if, an employer sees it and you don't get a job? And my response is like baked into the back of my head at this point. It's like, Mom, you don't know like what I've been through and what I've seen. This just seems right. Like this just seems like the only thing that I should be doing is I should be out there for people that, I'm not saying they're like me or not like me. I don't know who they are, but there's potentially thousands and millions of people that can meet people through me. Like there's just so much like social interaction to be had, so much like community to be created through my voice. And I don't know where that's going to take me. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find a partner that is in love with that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find a sponsor that has money for that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, you know what I mean? Like it's uncertain. It's uncertain. And I feel like something that my parents never had to go through was uncertainty. So they don't know how to deal with it either. Like, but they do know, and they've done a great job. I mean, my dad is really an amazing man. Like, they would only be able to say the things they've said and act the way they've acted through this whole thing that I'm doing because of the discipline they've amassed. Like if they weren't so freaking disciplined and so amazing at their lives, they wouldn't have the strength to say, Jack, we're going to love you no matter what. We have this money for you for school. That. But if you don't want to go, we're behind you. You're still our son and we love you no matter what. You know what I'm saying? And I know what they're saying. Like, it's amazing. I feel like I have to respect that. I have to respect how much discipline it probably takes for them to take that approach and do it with such seemingly ease. Like it wasn't even like lots of yelling and fighting to get to this point. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just like they slowly and calmly slipped into this position because that's the only way you can, obtain a position in a slow and calm way. Like they've always been firm and stern in where they stand. And that gives me strength as their son because I have something to look up to and something to aspire to become, which is disciplined. And I don't know. It's just like if I was in their shoes right now with the mind that I have, quite honestly, and I'm not trying to just like, show how open-minded I am by like going to a different side and saying like, oh, well, this person really is great because I wouldn't be able to do this or that. Like just trying to make myself look better. I'm not trying to just like show you how, what's the word? Empathetic I am by putting myself in my parents' shoes or like picturing a different, perception of what's going on here. I mean it. I mean it when I say if I was them and some other kid was me, and all I had was what I have now, but, and I would fucking lose it. I would lose it. I would be like, do you know how hard it was to get all this money in this account for you to be able to go to whatever school you want? Do you have any idea? Do you have any fucking clue how hard I worked at my relationship with your mother, at my relationship with your father, just for you to be happy? Do you know how many friends I don't talk to anymore because you exist? Do you know how many events I pass up because I'm so tired because I've been taking care of you? Do you know the life I could have lived? You know, I could have found this discipline and happiness and fulfillment somewhere else. It didn't have to be you, but I've given myself, so much of myself to you, for you to say college isn't my thing. For you to say, yeah, I'm just going to work at a fast food company and make videos on the internet. Like, who are you, dude? Like, fuck off. I'm kicking you out. I'm taking you off everything right now. You're not getting any more of my money. And don't come home. Like, seriously. And I would think to myself, like, that's best for both of us. You know, they stress me out, and it's important for me to keep stress out of my life. I probably stress them out because they know, you know, it's like, let's just separate, you know. I'm not giving them any more money. They can stay in Raleigh and do what they want to do. They're still my son, but, you know, it ain't going to be like how it used to be. If they want to go to college, it's a different story. They can come back to me. But if they don't want to go to college, I don't want to. I don't really want much to do with them anymore. Like, seriously, that seems realistic. That seems like something that like would actually take place if the roles were reversed and I was my parents. But somehow, it's like you see the greats like LeBron James and Lionel Messi in their respective fields, and it's like they just play the game that you do. You know, like, I've been hot before. Like, my hands have been on fire where I touch the basketball and all it does is hit that back of the net like a swish. Like, you know, I've even done it with a crowd. I've been there. I've done that. I've played soccer in front of tons of people, and I've played really well. I've scored goals. I've helped my team win. I've been the MVP, the fastest runner. You know, like, I've been that top dog in those places. But it's like something undescribable. You know, like, you look at these guys like LeBron, and it's like there's not, like, it's above comparison, and it's above numbers, and it's like the embodiment of time. And we're also cocky all the time in our own present. Like, yeah, I know everything. But when it comes to the passing of time and what you choose to do with yours, it's like we're at a total loss. And when we see somebody that's really done something, and he's really different from the rest, and like he's used his time in such a different way, in such a crazy way to amass what he's amassed and gain what he's gained, it's like above respect. Like, you don't even know how to begin to appreciate the greatness. And my parents have that effect on me. Like, I don't even know where to begin to just witness. Like, it's not even just me. I have two younger brothers. And I can't even, like, how do they do it? And they keep doing it every day. Like, every single day they do it. There's no off days for them. Every single day, one of us could get in a really bad car crash. One of us could, you know, or every single day, one of us, you know, like, it never ends for them, and it never will end. They'll be doing it until they lose, you know, the function of their brain, till they take their last breaths. It's like, you don't have to ask them. Like, it's clear. Like, this is their life. This is what they do. Like, they're not just going to stop. Like, how did this begin for them? You know, was it a thought here, an action there? Like, how? It's so crazy. Let's change the subject. Let's change the subject. The subject. So I think a girl in public is really in tune to experiencing lust. Like, they might not know what it is on the other side, but for them on their side, they're always getting these guys, and they probably are doing and saying the same sort of things over and over again as they lead their actions and words with their lust, whether intentional or unintentional, right? Some guys might think that they really want to get to know the girl when truly, actually, they don't. They just want to have sex. And some guys might know they just want to have sex. But then there's this guy, like there's this disciplined guy that wants more. He wants to fit the puzzle. He wants to be that guy for that girl and go on to do things in life. You know what I mean? So what does that look like in conversation? I don't know. This is stupid. What was? I don't want to talk about this either. What do I want to talk about? What do I want to talk about? So I guess I'm going to have a guest on for the 100th episode, and that's dope, because that 100 episode, quite literally, the episode 100, it probably means more to him than me. Seriously. Because I don't really give a shit. It's my 100th episode of Keeping It Real, but it's not like I don't care. Let's put it this way. It's not that I don't care, but it's like it feels whole. It feels right for me to give it away. Because it's not really mine. It's not really there's no world in it where I'd be like, I don't know if I want to do that because I want to do something special on my own. I want to do it my way. This is my way. It'd be how awesome do you think it would be for him? That would make it his episode 100. That's a good way to show that this is not. That's a good way to show something to somebody about this, because I feel like if you had never done anything and you pictured what you might be feeling or doing on your 100th episode of this, it's probably a whole lot different than the way that it is, right? Like when I started this, I might think to how I might feel on episode 90 and I just wouldn't be able to get it right, but now here I am coming up on episode 90 and I know how it feels. It just feels like how it feels. And my whole purpose is to share that feeling. How can I relate this to somebody else? And my words are probably getting really mixed up right now. You're probably not following me. You probably think that you're following me. You probably think you're hearing these words and thinking what you're thinking. But I can't get this across. I'm trying my hardest, but every single word I say doesn't really feel or seem right. I just know how I feel, so I just keep trying. And I feel like a dog. I feel relentless. I feel, powerful. I feel unstoppable. You know what I mean? And I feel like I'm charging into battle with a whole army behind me. And we just know we're going to fuck shit up. I'm Napoleon. And it's almost like a no-brainer muscle memory, the same way you breathe. You would pick the guy that's running right behind you in the army. You'd grab his shoulder and you say, "Get the fuck up here. We're about to run past episode 100. I want you to be right here with me and run as hard as you can for this episode 100. You know what I mean? Because it's the time. Listen. Everyone that's behind me right now, it's over. You can't, they're not going to be able to, they'll never catch up, if that makes sense. They can hold the pace for a bit, but I'm 87 episodes ahead. All they can do is follow. It's like you might just not understand what I'm saying. Like it's not like they couldn't create a social media account and blow up and pass me in followers and subscribers and start making money within a week and pass me in all those metrics. They could make 5 episodes a day, and they could pass me in 2 months. If it's 5 hours a day, that's just a work week. They could do that easily. They could dedicate their lives and they could pass me. But they can't get the time back. They can't get the time back. If they're 21 like me, it's over for you. Like, I'm coming up on 1 year. Like, you're gonna have to somehow find a year, and even when you do, it won't be the same. Like, you can't replicate this. You cannot like I am doing it. I'm running the race, and like these eyes are on me, and yeah, like it's just, I don't know. It just seems like I mean, I don't know how to say it, I want to put like impactful words that kind of like slam together that make people perk their eyes up, because even if they don't understand it, at least they listened. You know what I mean? That's kind of like how I go about this sort of thing. It's just like, what kind of crazy words can I throw together? Pool hall is like super trendy and edgy, so I'm probably gonna wear I feel like a girl, like dressing up for the occasion, but it's fun. I like it a lot. I'm gonna wear like probably a Carhartt, and like if I can fit into my jeans, and maybe I might even throw on my boots. They probably won't feel great on my bicycle, but I haven't worn them in so long, and they're really nice boots. So I'm gonna throw all that stuff on, and I got these dope shades, dude. What if I rocked in that John with shades on? I'm not gonna do that, but I am so stoked to wear these in the summertime. Thank you to Katie. These sunglasses are so majestic. Slay Queen. Let's talk about, okay, so 2 shifts ago, I already told the story of the really cute girl whom I'm very, I hope I do something when she comes back. I'm not thinking about her much, but I know that I'm going to recognize her face and my heart's going to skip when she walks back in there, especially if she walks, like she used to have a friend that would come with her, but now she comes alone. She was the one that ordered a hot sub, and I said, is it usually hot? And she said, no, I switched between the two. And then like she ate half of it and then left. And she had the most amazing, beautiful eyes I could ever even see on a person ever. Anyway, before that happened, I was trying to like find the moment for the day, to be myself for the day, right? To just like put myself in front of a girl for the day, seeing if I could do it. And I was like, I just want to do it. I just want to do it. I want to do it. And then I'm on Instagram, and I'm like, let's send it a DM. Send a DM. And first things first, I'm thinking, let's DM this girl that I went on a couple dates with. I talked about her in yesterday's episode. The one that played guitar for me. Not the one with the picture of the guitar. Those are different girls. And I was like, I should just text her and say, hey, I'd like to see you. This is a victory story because we're in that mood right now. And the victory is I didn't. I thought a lot about it. I wrote out the text like 3 different times. I never pressed send. And then I started thinking about another girl that was liking my posts. And I'm like, I should send her a DM, because maybe the problem was like, with this girl, I already have history. Let's just try someone that I don't know, but like, they've been liking my posts. I think they might like it if I send them a message. Let's send them a message. And then I'm trying to check, like, does she actually have a boyfriend? Like, I'm looking at her Instagram, and then I'm like, wait, did she even like any of my posts? And then I think she like unliked all my posts. Because like 2 nights prior, I had liked one of her pictures. Yeah, I think she unliked my pictures, my posts, maybe. And then like right after that, I saw she had just posted and she has a boyfriend. And then I was like, okay, off my phone. And then I thought to myself, okay, I know you're stressed. I know you want to have that moment today, but you want to have it right. You want to do it right. And the phone is not right. It's not. I know everyone's always on the phone, and everything always seems to happen on the phone for everybody else, and people always seem to be so good with their phone and how they use their phone when it comes to all this stuff, but that's not you, bro. Okay, you can't, you don't know how to phone it, okay? You never knew how to text a girl, all right? I know that you did it once with a girl in middle school, but it didn't end right, and you swore off of it, and it's been so long, it's never going to be the same again. You know, when a girl comes around, you might end up texting her, sure, but it's just, that's not, for today, for right now, you're not going to, that's not what you want. You're not going to feel good about it. When you send the text and she might even respond, but it's not use your judgment. You don't want to do it. You don't want to send a text, and you don't want to, that's not going to be that moment where you say, okay, I got it today. Your moment is something that's going to happen where you can give someone a smile, because that's who you are. That's what you do. Where you can say, have a good day. Where you can say, maybe you get crazy and you tell someone they look pretty. Maybe you go off the chain, but you might not. You don't know. It's all about repeatability. And if you do this, if you send the text, it can almost be guaranteed that tomorrow you're gonna be burnt out. You're gonna be tired of this shit, and you're not even gonna think twice about it. I didn't have a moment yesterday, and I haven't had a moment yet today. Although I am going to the pool hall, but I still might not have it's not, nothing guarantees anything. I think a new setting helps. A new setting helps because I'm not gonna have a moment with a different girl at Jersey Mike's back to back. You know what I mean? Because that feels wrong. That feels like not me. That feels like I'm using my job as a way to talk to hot girls that come to get sandwiches. That's gross and grimy. To stay real and honest with myself, hot girls can come in anywhere, anytime, and if it happens to be Jersey Mike's, then it happens to be Jersey Mike's, and that's that. But it's not. There's not going to be. I'm not going to allow myself. I'm going to stay disciplined enough where it's not a habit that I've formed. So, Here I am, super excited about hopping on my bicycle. I couldn't be more excited to get on my bicycle. And I hope that my friend from high school that I met the other night on accident and drove to the gas station, and who I'm now going to play a couple games of pool with at a pool hall, whom has a girlfriend, went home and today and yesterday and was like, hey, baby, that friend of yours that you're always telling me has a hard time with guys? I got the perfect guy. Bring her to pool hall tonight. He's coming. I hope. I hope. And I hope I get to just be myself, and just be myself. And leave it all out there. Just be who I am and don't hold back, and then come on home. It's not even about not even coming on home. It's just be who I am and leave it all. Be who I am and just be who I am. I hope that I just get to be who I am. Or maybe there's a girl at the pool table next to us with a pretty dress, and I just tell her that I think her dress is really pretty. And bang, there it is. After I say that, I want to make sure she knows I'm not staring at her. I want to make sure. Well, not that she knows, because I don't know what she thinks or what she knows. But I just want to make sure I'm not staring at her. I gave her a compliment and I meant it. I think her dress is beautiful. So back to my pool game. Back to the friend that I came to see. Focus on what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? It's controlled. It's It's moderation almost. It's like I'm so caught up with giving these things up, like no more jacking off, no more weed ever, no more drinking. And these are good things, I believe. It's like shaping me into someone that I want to become. I believe that. But it's like with a partner, with a girl, I can't swear that off. I can't, like, that's something that I decided that I want. So when it comes to wanting things, you got to look at what I've done with this online stuff, you know? Like, I never go all out on a single day. It's been so long since I've spent, there might have been a couple days, I don't know. It'd be hard for me to find. I can't even remember them. Where, like, I genuinely spent the whole day with my camera in hand filming and the last 5 hours of the night editing from wake to sleep. And I put the video out. Like, that's, that might have happened a couple times. But each one of those times, it made the next day harder. And at a certain point, I had to realize what my goal was. The goal was to become disciplined. And being disciplined is never giving up. So I thought, what do I need to do here to find the intersection of outputting quality whilst never jeopardizing failure? And that's just a set amount of time a day. It's not that you're not allowed to go over it. And it's necessarily not that you're allowed to go, you can be under it if you really need to be. But you just hit that mark every day regardless. You turn your brain off even. 1 hour podcast a day, you hit that mark. Put yourself out there. You hit that mark. Get to that mark and then let it sit. Let it be what it is. And that mark, that mark evolves and changes. I don't even know what that mark necessarily is for this particular scenario. That mark might not be saying you have a pretty dress on. That mark is so situational, it's crazy. Maybe she hits a nice shot and you happen to see it. Hey, nice shot. Bang, that's the mark. You get me? Maybe she fell down and only you saw it and you're like, I don't think anybody saw that. You're good. That's your mark. You know what I mean? That is your mark. Like, it's a two-way street. And with moderation, I think you're going to stumble across the girl that's like, yo, like, keep talking to me, And then it's going to be easy. Like, on the days where I do a little bit more, I put a little bit more effort into the title card. I put, a little bit more, like I do it a little bit earlier in the day. And I just put a little bit more of myself into this. Those are the days when it feels like it's what I should be doing. It doesn't feel like forced. It feels like, it feels right, And you never get to that point. You never get to do more than what's expected and have it feel right unless you're just focused on hitting your mark first. You take it one step at a time. And the good, to hit your mark, you just remember you just got to be yourself. Just go out there, be yourself, hit your mark. And tonight, man, I got it. I'm feeling good. I'm ready to hit a mark. And it's like, it doesn't matter how you feel. You can feel bad. You can feel good. You just got to keep in mind that you're going somewhere to hit your mark. You're not like, and then when you get there, you're like, I'm here to hit my mark. And then when you're hitting it, when you're saying that one line thing, or maybe you're in a little bit of a conversation, that is your mark. Maybe it lasts for a while and you're not going to necessarily know if she wants you to keep talking to her or not. Maybe she's just polite. Maybe, you're freaking the fuck out, That's all right. Pull back. Consider your mark hit. Bing, done. But it's all different. It's all different in the moment. Like how I can say it so assured and so like level-headed now, like it's just this, then this. Like how I can like plan it out, like all you got to do is this, then this, then this. It doesn't mean when you're in this, it's not like all of a sudden you go blind. Like you forget what it even means to be yourself. Like it's like you have a goldfish memory and you're expected to remember a string of numbers, but you forget everything every 5 seconds. And so it's like Severance. You take that elevator and you become your innie. Like it's totally different. That's been today's episode, and I'll see you tomorrow.